everyone and welcome back to my channel. And yes, ang i-discuss natin today ay ang third type of the conic section, which is the ellipse. So this will be the introduction para mas maintindihan natin kung ano nga ba ang ellipse. If you want to know more, keep on watching. Good day everyone, it's me, Sir John. It is very important na alam natin ang fundamentals before we proceed with the calculations. Naniniwala kasi ako na kaya tayo nahihirapan sa math is because we are lacking with the basic concepts. So at the end of this lesson, you will be able to first define what is ellipse, recognize the different properties of an ellipse, and determine the orientation of an ellipse given its standard equation. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright, welcome to our pre-calculus class. And by the way, thank you so much po sa mga sumusuporta sa mga videos ko, sa mga likes and kind comments. The third type of the conic section is the ellipse. Before we proceed, make sure you have your ball pen and paper para ma-take down mo lahat ng important information. Okay? The ellipse is made when the tilted plane intersect only one cone to form a bounded curve, just like in the illustration. And we know that the equation represents an ellipse if A and C have the same sign but A is not equal to C and vice versa. Let me demonstrate kung paano ba mag-draw ng isang ellipse. So meron tayong dalawang points, let's call it F sub 1 and F sub 2. Meron din tayong string na naka-attach sa dalawang points. By the way, 5 inches yung length nito. And need ng pen na pang graph. So ngayon, iikot natin ang pen. There you have it. You have the graph of an ellipse. Yung dalawang points na to, pwede yang i-move. So tignan natin what will happen if malapit sila sa isa't isa. So as you can see, na the more na naglalapit sila, the more na nagiging circle ang graph. Kaya di ba sinabi ko last time na circle is a special kind of ellipse. Mathematically speaking, an ellipse is the set of all points x and y in the plane. So, the sum of their distances from two distinct fixed points, which we call f sub 1 and f sub 2, is constant. Balikan natin yung example kanina. Di ba yung string, nung inikot natin siya, di naman natin dinagdagan or binawasan. 5 inches pa rin siya. Yun yung sinasabi natin kanina na the sum of their distances from two distinct fixed point is constant. Malinaw ba? Okay. Now, let's talk about the properties of an ellipse. Let's start with the two fixed points denoted as f sub 1 and f sub 2. And these points are the focus or in plural, foci or foci. Okay? So from this, we can draw the ellipse. Yung dalawang points na nasa ellipse are the vertices denoted as v sub 1 and v sub 2. Malalaman ninyong vertex ang point kapag nag-draw ka ng line that passes through the foci, yung point of intersection nila together with the ellipse, doon naglalay ang mga vertices. By the way, this line is what we call the principal axis. And we will only consider an ellipse where the principal axis is either vertical or horizontal. Now, the line segment connecting v sub 1 and v sub 2 is what we call the major axis. And this line segment, which is perpendicular to the major axis, is what we call the minor axis. Notice that the minor axis is shorter than the major axis. Kaya nga major at minor. Okay? I'll repeat. We have the foci, vertices, the principal axis, major axis, and the minor axis. Let's continue. The point of intersection of the major and the minor axis is the center with the coordinate of h and k. Parang sa circle, right? So we let the distance from the center to a vertex be a, since that is half of the major axis. Therefore, the total length of the major axis is 2a. From here, we can say that the coordinate of the vertices be h minus a k for v sub 1 and h plus a k for v sub 2. Tandaan na kapag yung movement ay sideways, going to the left or right, ang mag-change ng value ay si h. Otherwise, pag ang motion ay upwards or downwards, k ang mag-change ng value. By the way, ang endpoints ng minor axis ay tinatawag nating covertices. So, we let the distance from the center to a covertex be b. Thus, the length of the minor axis is 2b. So, yung length ng ating major axis is 2a, yung total length ng minor axis naman natin is 2b. Okay? So, therefore, yung coordinates ng covertices natin ay h k plus b and h k minus b. Since nasa taas at baba sila ng center. Make sense? Lastly, we let the distance from the center to a focus be c. Ibig sabihin, yung coordinate ng foci natin ay tama ang nasa isip mo. For f sub 1, we have h minus c k. And for f sub 2, we have h plus c k. Pagdating sa ellipse, ang kailangan nyo lang tandaan ay of course, the center with the coordinate of h and k, yung value ng a, b, and c. Plus in ellipse, a should always be greater than b. Mas malaki lagi ang value ni a kaysa b. For the standard equation of the ellipse, I will show 3 figures. Start natin with the figure 2, and yes, tama ang nasa isip mo, that is a circle. Familiar na tayo dyan kasi we already discussed it. From this kasi, we can easily remember the 2 different standard equation of the ellipse. So the first figure illustrates na parang meron tayong circle na na-stretched horizontally. So the standard equation will be x minus h squared all over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. And if we have a circle na na-stretched vertically, the standard equation will be x minus h squared all over b squared plus y minus k squared all over a squared is equal to 1. Almost the same, right? But look at their denominators. Sa unang ellipse, ang denominator ng x minus h squared ay si a squared. And yung denominator ng y minus k squared is yung b squared. While sa pangalawang equation, nagkabaligtad. B squared ang denominator ng x minus h squared at a squared naman ang denominator ng y minus k squared. Diba? A is greater than b. Sa mga denominators, ang larger na number ay si a. Pag mas maliit, that is b. Ibig sabihin sa mga examples, kapag ang denominator ng x ay mas mataas sa denominator ng y, it means the principal axis of the ellipse is horizontal or horizontally stretched ang ellipse. On the other hand, if mas maliit ang denominator ni x, it means the ellipse is vertically stretched or the principal axis is vertical. Say for example, we have x plus 2 squared all over 4 plus y minus 3 squared all over 9 is equal to 1. So this is an example of an ellipse. Kung mapapansin niyo, mas maliit ang denominator ni x compare sa denominator ni y. Therefore, without solving, alam natin na vertical ang ating ellipse. Okay? Another? Sige, try nyo. Pause nyo muna ang video na to. If your answer is horizontal, you are correct. Kasi, mas malaki ang denominator ni x kaysa y. I hope that is clear. Para mas madali nating maalala ang iba't ibang properties ng ellipse, I will give you a summary. So, dito muna tayo. If the ellipse is horizontal, the standard equation is x minus h squared all over a squared plus y minus k squared all over b squared is equal to 1. And the other properties will be, of course, for the center, we have h and k. For the vertices, v sub 1, that is h minus a k. And for the v sub 2, h plus a k. The coordinates of the co-vertices is h, k plus or minus b. Okay, so parang h, k plus b or h, k minus b. So for the foci naman, for f sub 1, we have h minus c, k. And for the f sub 2, we have h plus c, k. However, if the principal axis of an ellipse is vertical, meaning to say the standard equation is x minus h squared over b squared plus y minus k squared all over a squared is equal to 1. So the other properties are given, same pa rin yung center, that is h and k. So yung vertices natin, ngayon ang imamanipulate natin dito is k kasi yung vertices natin ay nasa taas at saka sa baba ng ating center. So we have for v sub 1, that is h, k minus a, and then v sub 2, that is h, k plus a. For the co-vertices natin, yung co-vertices natin ngayon ay nasa sideways ng ating center. So therefore, ang i-change natin ng value or imamanipulate natin doon is the value of h. Kaya nga, h plus or minus b, k. Now for the foci, yung f sub 1, that is h, k minus c, and for the f sub 2, we have h, k plus c. And again, the general equation is ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0, where a is not equal to c. That concludes our discussion for today. I hope I discussed it clearly. So for the next video, I will provide an example applying the different properties of an ellipse. So this is Sir John. Have a great day everyone and thank you for listening.